Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being a viewer. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. I want you to know that you're greatly appreciated. There are some topics that are very challenging to cover, very intense topics to cover, and I'm not afraid to confront difficult topics on our channel. It's very easy to actually not talk about what I'm going to talk about, but I'm going to talk about it because I believe it's important for our country. Senator Lisa Murkoswki from Alaska is the first Republican senator to come out and ask for the resignation of Donald Trump. I think what happened in the past few days was just inexcusable, and there's been a tremendous amount of backlash. Many individuals have resigned from the White House, including a close aide of Donald Trump, Hope Hicks, who's going to be leaving next week. Mike Mulvaney has resigned, Betsy DeVos has resigned, and there are others who are considering resigning. In fact, the White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows is in a state of shock right now. That's what latest reports have suggested. But I want to highlight comments from Senator Lisa Murkoswki from Alaska, and she is calling on Donald Trump to resign following what happened a few days ago. Just incredible. She's the first Republican senator to take that step, and I'm going to quote Senator Lisa Murkoswki now. She said, "I want him to resign. I want him out. He has caused enough damage." Now, keep in mind, we are at a very precarious stage in the economy right now. We are at a stage where joblessness is increasing. Permanent unemployment is at a level that is just unbelievable. We are at a stage where more individuals continue to lose jobs, and we are at a stage where the rate at which unemployment was improving has tapered off. On top of that, there have been reports that there could be a new variant of this pandemic, a new USA variant, not a UK variant, a new USA variant that could be circulating. On the date that this incident happened in the capital, we had almost 4,000 fatalities as a direct result of this pandemic, which is unbelievable. Senator Lisa Murkoswki said, and I quote, "I want him to resign. I want him out. He has caused enough damage." She said this in an interview to the Anchorage Daily News. And here's another quote from Senator Murkoswki. "I think he should leave. He said he's not going to show up. He's not going to appear at the inauguration. He hasn't been focused on what is going on with the pandemic. He's either been golfing or he's been inside the Oval Office fuming and throwing every single person who has been loyal and faithful to him under the bus, starting with the Vice President." Now, there have been reports that people are very upset with the way Vice President Mike Pence was treated, because Vice President Mike Pence was treated very badly. And Senator Murkoswki also said he doesn't want to stay there. He only wants to stay there for the title. He only wants to stay there for his ego. He needs to get out. He needs to do the good thing. But I don't think he's capable of doing a good thing. These are comments from Senator Lisa Murkoswki. Very strong comments. The thing that really jumps out at me, I gotta tell you, is I think he should leave. He's either been golfing or he's been inside the Oval Office fuming and throwing every single person who has been loyal and faithful to him under the bus, starting with the Vice President. He doesn't want to stay there. He only wants to stay there for the title. Yep. That's what Senator Murkoswki said. And she said he needs to do the right thing, but I don't think he's capable of doing a good thing. Here's some other comments from Senator Murkoswki. She said that while there may have been many good Americans who came to Washington, D.C. because they felt strongly in support of the president, she said that they were incited and after that speech near the Washington Monument. Pretty incredible comments. Here's another quote from Senator Murkoswki. "I will attribute it to the president, who said even after his vice president told him that morning, 'I do not have the constitutional authority to do what you asked me to do. I cannot do it. I have to protect and uphold the Constitution.' Even after the vice president said that to Donald Trump, he still told his supporters to do something. How are they supposed to take that? It's an order from the president, and so they did what they did." Pretty incredible. In fact, Murkoswki questioned her own future in the Republican Party. She said, "Well, there's a lot of people who actually think that I did that in 2010 when she was asked if she intends to remain a Republican. She said that they think that I became an independent." So again, I'm going to quote her again. "Well, there's a lot of people who actually thought that I did that in 2010. Think that I became an independent. I didn't have any reason to leave my party in 2010. I was a Republican who ran a write-in campaign and I was successful." She's talking about how she became, how she got nominated. "But I will tell you, if the Republican Party has become nothing more than the party of Donald Trump, I sincerely question whether this is the party for me." Pretty incredible She said she was disappointed in the fact that the Republicans lost the Senate majority. And she said, I think that was another area where I think you can look directly at Donald Trump. That was very, very, very unfortunate. So, pretty incredible comments, everybody. And she said, I think I'm including myself as part of a group of members that want to work to try to bring things together in the Senate and want to try to get some business done. And this is going to be a Biden administration where I'm going to be disagreeing with where they're taking us on a lot of issues and policy. But I would like to think that they're never going to question their fidelity to the oath of office. Very powerful comments from Senator Lisa Murkoswki from Alaska. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Keep in mind, Senator Murkowski is the first Republican senator to publicly call for the resignation of Donald Trump. So that is what is going on, everybody. You heard it here. You'll get a link to all of our resources in the description section below. I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comment section below. I'm looking forward to hearing from our community. And if you thought that information was surprising from Senator Lisa Murkowski and her comments, here's an article on your screen that was published on CNN that says, as things were going on in the Capitol, Donald Trump tried to call senators to overturn the results of November. And I actually have a recording. Yes, I have a recording from Rudy Giuliani, who was supposed to call one senator, but actually ended up by accident calling another senator and leaving a voicemail to ask that the Electoral College certification process be slowed down. Yes, he said, just slow things down and buy us some time. I'm paraphrasing. That's what Rudy Giuliani said. We are actually going to listen to that audio recording, which is pretty unbelievable. So he left it by accident with another senator, and that senator decided to release that audio recording with the press. Pretty mind-blowing. So basically, Donald Trump and Rudy Giuliani both mistakenly made calls to Republican Senator Mike Lee as things were unfolding in the Capitol. Yes, they did that as things were unfolding. This is, folks, this is the most incredible piece of news that I've heard. Every day brings a new level of unbelievable news, and a spokesperson for the senator, Mike Lee, did confirm that, and the calls were intended for another Republican senator, while the White House was frantically trying to convince, trying to get the Electoral College certification process delayed. Now, Lee's spokesman said that the calls from Trump and his attorney were actually intended for Tommy Tuberville, who's a newly elected Republican from Alabama. So this was an effort to delay the certification. At approximately 7 p.m. East Coast time, Giuliani called who he thought was a newly sworn in Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville, and he said, and I'm quoting Rudy Giuliani, I want to discuss with you how they're trying to rush this hearing and how we need you, our Republican friends, to try to just slow it down so we can get these legislatures to get more information to you. And I know they're reconvening at 8 p.m. tonight, but the only strategy we can follow is to object to numerous states and raise issues so that we can get ourselves into tomorrow, ideally until the end of tomorrow. I know McConnell is doing everything he can to rush it, which is kind of a kick in the head, because it's one thing to oppose us, it's another thing not to give us a fair opportunity to contest it. The problem for Giuliani is he left this message on the voicemail of another senator who shared it with the Dispatch. And by the way, I'll provide you with a link to the Dispatch, to the original story, in the description section below. And pretty incredible. Let's listen to this audio recording right now. Let's listen.
Senator Tuberville, or I should say Coach Tuberville, this is Rudy Giuliani, President's lawyer. I'm calling you because I want to discuss with you how they're trying to rush this hearing and how we need you, our Republican friends, to try to just slow it down so we can get these legislatures to get more information to you. And I know they're reconvening at 8 tonight. But the only strategy we can follow is to object to numerous states and raise issues so that we get ourselves into tomorrow, ideally until the end of tomorrow. I know McConnell is doing everything he can to rush it, which is kind of a kick in the head, because it's one thing to oppose us. It's another thing not to give us a fair opportunity to contest it. He wants to try to get it down to only three states that we contest. Well, there are 10 states that we contest, not 3. So if you could object to every state and along with a congressman get a hearing for every state, I know we would delay you a lot, but it would give us the opportunity to get the legislators who are very, very close to pulling their votes, particularly after what McConnell did today. It angered them because they have written letters asking that you guys adjourn and send them back the questionable ones, and they'll fix them up. So this phone number, I'm available on all night, and it would be an honor to talk to you. Thank you.
So here's what happened, everybody. Trump actually called the personal cell phone of Mike Lee, who was a Utah Republican, after 2 p.m. East Coast time. Now, at that time, the senators had been evacuated from the Senate floor and they were in a holding room. And this was when the incident was actually starting to unfold. And, Trump was watching it on TV. And so Lee picked up the phone and Trump identified himself. And then when it became clear that Trump wanted to speak with Tuberville, Lee kept Trump on hold and went to find his colleague, and he handed Tuberville the phone, telling him that Trump was on the line and had been trying to reach him. So Tuberville spoke with Trump for less than 10 minutes, and Trump was trying to convince Tuberville, and all this happened around 2 p.m. East Coast time. And keep in mind the 7 p.m. audio, the audio recording of Giuliani, that happened a little bit later in the evening. There was no mention, no public announcement, no recognition of the incident at that time by Trump or Giuliani. So that tells you what the focus was. Trump's focus was on speaking with Tuberville, and Giuliani's focus was to follow up with Tuberville, but he ended up leaving the voicemail for Mike Lee. So Tuberville spoke with Trump right around 2 p.m. East Coast time for less than 10 minutes, and Trump was trying to convince him to make additional objections to the Electoral College vote in an attempt to delay or block the certification. And the call was cut off because senators were asked to move to a secure location. Remember, Trump spoke with Tuberville, okay, and then Giuliani left this accidental voicemail with Mike Lee. All this happened while the whole thing was unfolding, and then Trump in his video said that he immediately called the National Guard. Let's try and put 2 and 2 together, and you tell me what you interpret from this. If you want to believe things a certain way, I don't know what to tell you, but this is as clear an indication as any that during those fateful moments, during those fateful hours, there was not 1 ounce of consideration for the senators, for the congressmen, for Vice President Mike Pence, and for all the reporters and all the individuals who were stuck in there. Not 1 moment of consideration while all of this was going on. And also, even after Congress was reconvening late in the night, after the situation had been normalized, Trump was still urging senators to push ahead with the protest, all the while staying focused, obsessively focused on trying to prevent the certification. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time, and thank you so much for giving me your time. If you don't know anything about me, check out my video. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. We live in unusual times. We live in uncertain times. The events of the past few days have been unbelievable, to say the least. We live in a historic moment in time, and I want to bring you into the news. I want to bring you behind the scenes of honest news. I want to bring you behind the scenes of news that is neither too conservative, neither too liberal, news that is balanced, and news that is logical. This channel, the Ignition Time channel, is about the country, it's about the economy, and it is about your money. I'll give you news that shocks you and makes you go, I'll give you news that makes you smile and say, wow, this is good. I'll bring you news when it's raining money and when we get lots of stimulus. I'll give you news that might make you want to party. In fact, guess what? I can actually breakdance. I'll make you news that's going to make you want to breakdance. That is, if you're a nerd like me. I can breakdance. Watch this. Okay, I know. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda, and thank you so much for watching, everybody. I want you to know that I really appreciate you. We release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. That's 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. If you want to hear from us, get your cell phone out, send a text message with the word ignition or with the word time to 70,000. That's 70000. You'll get added to SMS alerts list moving forward. You'll get breaking news and alerts if you are on our SMS alerts list. So I really appreciate you being a viewer. I appreciate you being a subscriber. You can also get on our email list and stay in touch. Simply go to ignitiontime.com/alerts. That's ignitiontime.com/alerts, and you'll be able to stay in touch with us. You can opt out of the SMS alerts or the email alerts at any point in time. Sometimes YouTube does not always release notifications on time. So all I ask you to do is very simple. Just bookmark youtube.com/ignition time. Just bookmark the channel so you can always be in touch with us. So you can be a part of our community. You can be a part of, you can be a part of the news when it gets bizarre and when it makes you go, what? Or you can be a part of the news when you feel like dancing. Or you might want to break dance. Here's my lousy break dance one more time. That's I hope you can join our community. Speaking of community, hopefully you can follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is ignition_time. That's ignition_time. That's our handle on Instagram. Now, if you want, you can also follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is also ignition_time. That's ignition_time. Our Twitter community has been growing very rapidly, and you'll see me tweeting and retweeting important information that will help you make sense of this unbelievably crazy world that we live in. Once again, my name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda. Please share this video with just 2 friends or family members. Share the video with just 2 friends or family members. If you learn something new, please click like. Please subscribe. Please enable notification. That would mean a lot to me. Please ignite that subscribe button because the name of our channel is Ignition Time. I want you to be in party mode. I want you to be happy. I want there to be confetti everywhere. I want us to have a normal, peaceful life, and I want us to laugh every once in a while, which is what you're going to get on this channel. Also, you'll find a link to all of our resources in the description section below. So make sure you check out our description section. And once again, please click like, please subscribe, please enable notifications. I appreciate you all. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time.